Have you ever just stood there staring at a massive, completely blank wall in your house and felt totally stuck? You know you absolutely want the space to look amazing, but there's this nagging, super common fear that decorating is just going to lead to expensive, chaotic clutter. It's totally overwhelming to even start, right? Well, welcome to today's explainer. We are on a serious mission to transform those blank canvases beautifully, and we're going to do the whole shebang on a strict budget. We're breaking down exactly how you can elevate your space without emptying your bank account. Okay, let's dive right into this with our core philosophy. It's simple. The beauty of a space is built from creativity, not a massive budget. A lot of folks mistakenly think that wall decor literally means dropping big bucks on high-end art pieces or pricey decorative fixtures. But honestly, the true currency of interior design isn't a fat wallet at all. It's your imagination. When you start viewing everyday items through a totally creative lens, you unlock this entirely new world of design possibilities. So here is the blueprint for our explainer today. First, we'll look at the art of budget wall decor. Second, we'll cover the core spatial principles. Third, we'll explore the harmony of style and function. Fourth, we've got 8 practical, creative ideas for you. And finally, we'll wrap up with visual execution and maintenance. Let's jump in. Part 1, the art of budget wall decor. The big secret here, you absolutely don't need to be a professional interior designer to make a space feel alive. It really just comes down to upcycling and reimagining the everyday items you already have. Moving right along to part 2, core spatial principles. Because before we even think about putting a single nail into that drywall, we really need to understand the basic rules of the room and how our eyes perceive space. A super common mistake people make is going totally overboard. They fill every inch, which actually shrinks the room visually and creates a feeling of utter chaos. So the crucial point is understanding compositional balance. You want to establish a focal point. You absolutely do not need to cover the entire surface of your wall. Instead, just deliberately highlight 1 or 2 key areas. By doing this, you're naturally guiding the viewer's eye exactly where you want it to go. It creates instant visual interest and completely avoids that dreaded visual clutter. That brings us to part 3, harmony of style and function. Before you grab that hammer, you've got to make sure your new decor actually matches your home's existing vibe and the specific job that room is meant to do. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast between different aesthetics. Let's say your home has a minimalist style. That fundamentally demands clean lines, simplicity, and neutral colors, right? You can't just slap a heavy, unfinished wooden palette on the wall and expect it to look cohesive. But conversely, if you're rocking a rustic space, you'll want to lean heavily into those wood materials, earthy colors, and rich, natural textures. Whatever you put up has to seamlessly speak the exact same visual language as the rest of your house. But it goes beyond just architectural style. You have to consider what each room actually needs to do. Different rooms demand entirely different visual strategies to serve their purpose. Think about it. Your living room needs warmth. You want to create an inviting effect for your guests and your family. Your workspace? Well, that requires visual inspiration to drive deep focus and productivity. And your bedroom needs calming, soft elements to give you a restful effect. So a vibrant, high-energy, super colorful piece of art might be fantastic for a creative home office, but it would completely ruin the relaxing vibe you need when you're trying to wind down for sleep. Okay, part 4, 8 practical creative ideas. This is the fun part. It's time to move out of the theory and get into some highly actionable, budget-conscious applications that you can literally start doing today. Let's enthusiastically run through our first 4 ideas. Number 1, a minimalist family photo gallery. You definitely don't need expensive frames for this. Just print some small photos and use cheap, plain wooden frames, or, hey, go completely frameless for an asymmetrical, highly personal touch. Idea 2, upcycled wood shelves. A little bit of sanding and some cheap varnish on old palettes, and boom! You've got a spot for tiny plants or candles. It perfectly mixes aesthetics with function. Number 3, fabric or scarf wall art. Hanging up an old patterned scarf or a small tapestry gives this incredible visual pop, and it's so incredibly easy to swap out when you get bored. And 4, geometric wall stickers. I absolutely love this one. It is a perfect, totally damage-free solution, especially for renters who want a modern look without the huge hassle of repainting. Now, what's really interesting here is how small vintage mirrors can solve a massive spatial problem using basically spare change. They don't just decorate a wall, they literally create an incredible optical illusion. Think about a cheap flea market mirror. Clean it up, give it a quick spray of gold paint, and it elegantly and visually expands a room. It catches the natural light, bounces it all around, and makes the whole space feel significantly larger and brighter without breaking the bank. For sure, it's an absolute game changer for small apartments.
Moving right along, number 6 is creating a functional mood board from cheap cardboard or cork. It's the perfect place to pin your motivational quotes, concert tickets, or favorite photos. Number 7 is cheap DIY acrylic paintings. And listen, I want to empower you here. Creating an abstract DIY painting requires absolutely zero professional painting skill. None. Just grab some cheap acrylics, a thin plywood board, and just have a blast experimenting with the colors. And finally, number 8, dried plants in frames. Let me paint a quick picture for you with this 8th idea. Imagine taking a quiet walk outside and just collecting some simple ferns, tall grasses, or wild wildflowers. You bring them home, press them flat, let them dry out, and then place them inside incredibly cheap, simple glass frames. Hanging these on your wall instantly brings this calming, natural, rustic touch indoors. It's such an effortless, elegant way to bring the serenity of nature right into your living space. And the best part? The materials are literally provided by the earth for free. Finally, we've made it to part 5, visual execution and maintenance. This is the final polish. It's what makes your DIY project look like a highly intentional design choice rather than just an accidental mess.
Let's move on and see how this builds into a cohesive, professional look. Step 1 is mounting height. You have to find that perfect center of visual balance, which is generally right around eye level. Keep it natural. Step 2 is visual spacing. Your decorative elements desperately need breathing room between them. If they're too cramped, they're just going to look cluttered and overwhelming. And step 3 is choosing durable materials. Look, budget decor does not mean trash. If you pick flimsy materials that easily break or fade, you're going to end up needing costly replacements and repairs down the line, and honestly, that completely defeats the whole purpose of doing a budget project in the first place.
So think about the space where you spend the most time, those walls you stare at every single day. Which blank wall will you transform today? You now have the foundational design principles. You know exactly how to balance a room functionally and stylistically. And you have 8 practical, incredibly budget-friendly ideas ready to go. So, I'm challenging you. Pick one wall, gather up some simple, everyday materials, and apply what you've learned today to breathe vibrant new life into your own space. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and happy decorating.